Welcome to Silver Bar Stacker, folks. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend, and I hope you're having a great start to your Sunday. Let's get right into it. What do I got here? I've got a whole smorgasbord of primarily fractional silver and gold, right? And why am I showing this to you? Well, I recently made a Facebook post. If you haven't actually liked us on Facebook, go ahead and hop on Facebook, search for Silver Bar Stacker, and give us a like. But that wasn't the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is because of a post I made on Facebook where I was kind of discussing why collectibles, which is what we specialize in here at Silver Bar Stacker, why collectibles are so crazily priced. Why are they so all across the map and oftentimes seem to be so untied to the spot price of silver? Why is that the case? And even more so, why is fractional silver and gold even more far removed from the spot price, right? When we're talking about a pure stacker, somebody who's stacking for bulk, right? When they're trying to stack weight, well, all they care about is the spot price and trying to get as close to the spot price, because at the end of the day, silver is silver, gold is gold, right? And so when you're shopping for generics, for example, you're able to really dial down in the best possible price. If you shop around properly and you go around and you look around and you shop for the deals and you price compare, okay, where can I go get this Combibar, on this site? How much does it cost on SBS? How much does it cost on AppMax? How much does it cost on SD Bullion? Go to all your different stores, figure out how much things cost, price compare, and at any given time, all these different stores will be running. They all are managing their own unique inventory. They're all running different specials. They're all over leveraged in some item and under leveraged in other items. And so based off of those pieces, in addition to the spot price, are they managing their pricing? And some dealers have really, really tight margins and are operating in a much higher risk environment. And maybe, those individuals who are running those organizations have very good technical analysis knowledge, and they just know when to come into the markets and go out of the markets. And a lot of these big stores, I was talking to Savage Stacker the other day, he was saying a lot of these big stores, they'll just hedge when the price is low, such as now a lot of people believe the price to be low. Well, they'll start hedging and they'll start backing up the truck, as Savage says, to stock up on those generics, right? And so when you talk about collectibles, well, collectibles have a liquidity issue, and that's really what it comes down to, and that's kind of the major issue when it comes to collectibles, especially vintage collectibles. Now, vintage collectibles, sometimes they've been circulating for decades, right? And so those items can just go through the roof. It can be stratospheric, the pricing of these items. And there's also so many other factors. Silverstruck always likes to talk about layers of value, and he's always going on about wanting to add layers of value in any of the items that he's purchased. And the reason for that is because then you can rely on something other than the spot price to carry you forward and carry the value forward of what you're holding. However, the more collectability it has, the more desirability it has, the more people want something, and then the less liquid it is. Meaning, what do I mean by liquid? How few of those items there are on the market. So now when we talk about something like this, a Combibar, this carries a hefty premium. Yes, they carry a premium. If you compare this is about this is 100 grams of silver. That's about, I want to say, 30 grams. About 3 ounces or so, 3 point something ounces, right? So if you compared this and you compared this to just buying a couple 1 ounce rounds or something like that, yeah, it's going to carry a premium above spot. That's for sure. But you have 100 different pieces that you can break off here, and that says something right there. That barterability, that the fact that you can divvy this up and give it to 100 different people, that is convenience right there. And so you're paying for that sort of convenience when you buy fractional silver. With that said, something like this is a generic Combibar. Yes, it has a very, very reputable name. Valcambi Suisse, they're one of the biggest companies in the world. So it carries that stamp of approval. Each one of these bars has a nice stamp of weight and purity and the brand there, the assayer. All of that stuff is on each of these individual bars, and so that adds some collectability to the bar without breaking the bank, right? As far as vintage fractional goes, this is my favorite thing to stack when it comes to like prepping or just having something that's a little bit kind of novelty, or just, you know, having something in that situation for barterability. I'm willing to pay a little bit of a premium for something like this. In fact, right now I've got a crazy special on these, so right now you won't be able to find these cheaper than anywhere on our website. Our website, we have these for like $130 for the first, you know, few of them that we have up. But so that's the kind of time that, you know, when a company's running a special, that's the kind of time that you want to swoop in and grab a deal if you're in the market to buy something, right? But don't just FOMO on something that you don't need, right? Like if you don't want to be stacking fractional silver, then don't do it. Go look for a deal on your, you know, 10 ounce bars or 1 ounce bars or 100 ounce bars or a 5 kg bar or something like that. You know, here's another one. I've got some 10th ounce buffaloes here. These are just generics, you know, so if you can ever get your hand on some generics, I like stacking generic bullion more than stacking, you know, junk silver and things like that, because to me, it's a space issue, right? I don't like carrying that extra weight, if you know what I'm saying. So that's just kind of what it comes down to me. Now, if you're trying to look for fractional gold, the Combibar starts to become much more appealing, because the premiums you actually have to pay on something like this actually tend to be very reasonable. There's a lot of people out there who like to stack fractional gold, and so if you're trying to stack a lot of fractional gold at once, this is actually not too bad bang for your buck, because you're actually purchasing fractional gold in this instance, remember. So the Combibars are something I definitely like to stack. This is a single ounce of gold that's broken down into 10th ounce bars. So this is a really cool and cheap and cost-effective way to stack fractional. Generic fractional is what I like to call this. And this same rule can be applied to 10 ounce bars, right? I'm sure Valcambi probably has some, you know, reasonably priced 10 ounce bars or 1 ounce bars or 100 ounce bars that you could go buy, right? And if you're willing to go even more generic, you could probably buy a random design 100 ounce bar or 10 ounce bar on a website. But then also be sure you're shopping around, because, you know, right now, for example, we have 100 ounce bars, Engelhard 100 ounce bars on the site for like $2,100 to $2,300. That's $21 an ounce to $23 an ounce when price of silver is $19, right? So, okay, that's $2 to $4 above spot. Is anybody getting better deals than that? You might maybe find maybe if you opt for like a kilo or something, you might find like a kilo deal or something that's, you know, $2 above spot, but it's very difficult. You'll be hard pressed to find a deal like that. So then make sure again that you're shopping around, because it's not like 100 ounce bars are always going to be on sale here. That's like a crazy price slash because of our personal circumstances with all the eBay stuff and whatnot, right? And so we're liquidating some of our bigger bulk items for very, very cheap. They're priced at price that they will sell, right? We've already sold a couple of them. So that's what it comes down to, right? Always price shop. I can't stress that enough, right? You'll find stuff on our website that is probably more expensive than you could go find it for on Fleabay or something like that. But then it comes down to some people don't want to support Fleabay. Like, I don't want to support Fleabay. So, you know, everybody has their personal circumstance when it comes to that. And then there might be inventory issues too. Like, there might be some stuff, right, like that I have that you can't get at another place, like these. So for example, like these. Okay, now we talk about generic fractional. Now let's take the next step up. This isn't really vintage, but this is more like a collectible. And so Geiger stuff generally carries a heavier premium because all these individual bars are serialized, right? They have a unique serial number. They have additional security features. It comes in this beautiful assay card that can be reclosed, unlike this one. It has kind of a cooler design on it, right? So these carry then a heftier premium. You might only be able to buy these for like, you know, $1.50, $2 a gram, and then this one might end up costing like $3, $4 a gram, right? And this is like the newer case that they have now. But then Geiger also, back in the day, they used to have these cool freaking boxes, these plastic original boxes. And I saw in AppMax they had a few of the empty boxes just like that, so I picked some of those up so that we could make some filled original boxes. And this comes with 25 and this comes with 30. And so this, you know, yeah, it's 5 more grams, but when you look at it on a per gram basis, this one costs a little bit more. And why does it cost more? Because it comes in this original box. That they don't make these anymore. So there's a liquidity issue with these original boxes. And so that's why these carry a little bit of a heftier premium. Not much, but a little bit of a heftier premium. Because it's just harder to find. You can't just go on AppMax and buy one of these, you know, boxes. But you could go on AppMax and they probably have these in stock, I'm guessing, right? And you could even probably buy like single grams or something from them, just like you can from us. Heck, I might get some of these up there too if anybody's interested in those full things. I've got some of these. So this one is filled with this is filled with 1 gram squares. This one's filled with 5 gram squares, all serialized. Pretty cool. Now this right here, you know, we talk about stack and bulk. I know we're focused on fractional right now, but this right here is a 5 kg bar. Okay, so you talk about stacking bulk. What's the purpose of stacking bulk? The purpose of stacking bulk usually is to save money, right? You want to save money on the premiums, and usually your 100-ounce bars will, you know, nowadays I guess kilos are kind of a hot thing. I used to have so many kilos I sold them all off, just generic kilos. But yeah, I guess, you know, 100-ounce bars, kilos, those tend to carry, you know, usually the best premiums. And when we're talking about generics, right? And so like you could go and find like a kilo right now for pretty good price, probably like $750. You could probably get a nice generic kilo, and this is a 5 kg bar. So like, you know, 750. I don't know what my math is. It's too early to do the math, so I'm going to rely on the calculator. 750 times, let's say 5 kgs, $3,750. That's what you would expect to maybe pay for like a 5 kg bar. But then this is a Geiger bar, right? This thing comes in the original factory seal. It's got serialization on the back. It's, you know, and on top of that, these 5 kg, I think this is the highest denomination square you can get. They're not easy to come by. I don't see them for sale really very many places, and so and I also had to pay quite a hefty premium for this thing. So this is kind of a little bit more of a collectible piece, and so this thing is upwards of $1,000 a kg, right? And I remember in the very recent past where I was happily paying $1,000 a kg for silver, but gone are those days, right? I you know, if I'm buying especially a generic kg of silver, I'm not trying to pay, you know, $1,000. However, if something like a duplicate of this came along my doorstep, I might consider it. I might consider paying a little bit of a premium for it. And you know, this thing is a little bit pricey, and that's why it sits on the site, because it's hard to find the right buyer for something like this, because there's a liquidity issue. There's only one of them available, and the premiums were high because this was a secondary market purchase on AppMax, for example. So this was sourced from AppMax as a secondary market purchase. It's not like they just had hundreds of them in stock. And so because of that, there's a liquidity issue on something like this. There's a liquidity issue on something like these original boxes. There's not a liquidity issue on something like this Geiger multi-pack. You get what I'm saying? Something that, you know, I have that there's a huge liquidity issue for. This is probably one of my most difficult to find fractional silver pieces, and I managed to source quite a few of them, thankfully, from a seller that I had worked with quite a few times to get some really nice pieces. And these right here, there's a serious liquidity issue for. I've in fact never seen these outside of the All Engelhard website. I haven't really seen these. And so when I had opportunity from a few sellers to pick these up, I had to hop on it, because now there's a freaking liquidity issue for something like this. And did I pay a ridiculous premium? Did I pay more than I've ever paid for silver ever for these little grams? Yes, I did. I paid far more than any fractional, any silver, period. You can't really see them, can you? I'm gonna have to make the thumbnail. There we go. I'm gonna have to make the thumbnail zoom in on these, because I don't know how well you'll be able to see this right now. But these are Johnson Matthey 1 gram serialized bars. So this is what we talk about when it comes to just collectibles. This just reaches unreasonable levels. If you're buying this for the silver value, you're going to be very, very disappointed, right? But that doesn't mean it's not a good investment. It's not something that you can't just keep to hold for your own pleasure, right? It's not bad to have one example of these just for your own happiness, as long as you know what it is that you're buying. And you know, this is a 10,000 minted fractional Johnson Matthey. Very, very, very difficult to come by. Very intricate details there. You got the JM Hammer logo there on the back. And 10,000 minted on this, right? And so you talk about something like this, the sky's the limit, right? The sky's the limit, you know, when it comes down to something like this. It's just crazy. I had to ultimately talk the person down, and it still was like too much. It was too much, right? Even these, you know, down here you'll see these in the original factory seal. I've got these Geiger 1 gram generation 1 bars, right? And so these bars right here, they don't make these anymore. You saw the Geigers. The Geigers are serialized now. The Geigers are serialized now, and they're square shaped. They don't make these horizontal shaped ones anymore. So grabbing something like this also is not easy. There's a liquidity issue. I don't know where to source more of these 1 gram horizontal shaped Geigers, and if you do, please do let me know. You know, please hit us up on the contact form and let us know if you got more of these, and you're you know, for whatever reason you're just trying to get rid of them. I'm happy to pick them up, because whatever price I buy them for, it's likely going to be averaging me down. That's for sure, because you know, we didn't pay Valcambi Swiss gram prices for these more collectible things, and so therein lies the liquidity issue when it comes to any sorts of silvers. And so I hope that kind of explains to you why pricing varies so wildly when it comes to collectibles, especially vintage collectibles. Hope you have a great rest of the day, and be sure to check out the website, because in a few hours we're going to actually be ending our first ever SBS drop, which contained all of the poured Geiger square bars, the copper bars, and the one chance to win that silver bar. That's going to be coming to an end today, here in a few hours, and we're going to be launching a brand new SBS drop. And this new SBS drop is actually going to be for prospector rounds, Engelhard American prospector rounds. And so there's going to be limited slots available for this drop, and the entries are going to be $25. So literally $25, and you're going to be guaranteed to get one of the prospector stack packs that we feature. Some of them will feature, you know, a prospector round. You might have, who knows, there might be a prospector stack pack in there with 2 prospector rounds, and you might have some prospector stack packs with fractional prospectors. So go ahead and keep an eye, keep refreshing the website, and here in a few hours we're going to have a new drop ready. And if you do want a chance to win that silver poured Geiger square bar, be sure to grab one of the discounted SBS drop tickets. They're only $15 for that first drop. And this next prospector drop, there's going to be limited slots available, only a few. We're not doing 30 drops, you know, not doing 30 products for this next prize pool. There's only going to be maybe 5 or 10 available slots for the prospector packs, and they're going to be very competitively priced, and it's going to be 1 per person. Okay, so be sure to refresh, check on the website, and be sure to grab one of those prospectors for cheap if you're interested. Have a good day.